Go. Okay. So good morning, everyone. So today is our first live on Tuesday, 10 a.m. because we used to have our lives on Thursday, right, at 9. But we want to have the opportunity to the people to have better experience and connect more with us and get the best information that we can share, offer. So we are right here with Mitan, okay? So we are so excited. We are so excited because today is a special day. Because we are gonna talk one of those topics that maybe sometimes are high, like as mystery topics. Yes, how the best way to appreciate our investments, house properties, the best way to look for to reach a good return on our investment property. So yes, we are going to talk about those things and also be ready with your questions, okay? Because that's the best important thing for today to answer as much as we can those questions that always you have in mind and you can ask you haven't the answer before, so this is the time, okay?
That's right. So now, Nathan, if you can introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what company you are with, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Nathan Jordan. I'm operations manager for Triangle Appraisal Group. We're a small appraisal company that serves the Carolinas. We're in majority of North Carolina and parts of South Carolina. Um, we offer many different types of services with appraisals that people normally don't think about. For investors, for hard money lenders, for many different types of needs. A big thing now is the tax reassessment stuff, things like that we're dealing with. Um, so yeah, no, and I've been appraising for over 10 years now. Started in Buffalo, New York, and have been down here for 7 years.
Oh wow.
Um, with
How was the change from New York to North Carolina? It was pretty
y-
big.
yeah, a lot of the stuff down here, I like appraising down here better.
Okay.
Um, the housing inventory is it's better taken care of. Up there it's a lot of older homes. Down here you're dealing with a lot of newer homes, and the older homes are more 50, 60s, 70 years old versus 100 to 150 years old.
Okay, wow. That's a big change.
Yeah. So no, down here I love it. It's there's a lot of opportunity down here, and we see a lot of change in the market over the past 7 years also, which has been pretty neat.
Yeah, I bet.
Cesar, I had a question. So let's start sharing the link to our um, Facebook groups so that people can also share the link with other um, Facebook groups.
Yeah, I'm working on that right now.
Thank you, Cesar, and Leah too. You can help us to do that. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nathan,
well,
you were talking about you've been seeing a lot of changes in the last 7 years. Can you tell us a little bit about that, or maybe between New York and North Carolina, like all
Well,
these changes
just in North
there is?
Carolina,
Yeah. Okay.
the changes over the past 7 years have been crazy. Since COVID hit, I know you guys have seen it. Kind of everyone has. The boom down here that we've had since COVID. Um, just even now the market, we're seeing a ton of investors in the outskirt areas, picking up properties and flipping them at pretty decent rates. We're starting to see those outer bands grow drastically. And those are areas like Fuquay, Anger, Rocky Mount. And then you can go down to Fayetteville, Sanford, all those places. I'm sure you guys see a lot of work there, with investors and stuff. But
What about Alamance County, Nathan? What do you think about the area? You think the area is growing as well, or you think it's more this area here in the Wake County kind of?
no, definitely, Alamance has been grown just as much as Wake County, and it's part of that surrounding area, that has continued to grow.
That's really
Um,
good. That's
Yes, part of our conversation is we are is talk about the areas around the rally. So yes, be ready and have the questions
We
for us.
do have a couple questions in here, Nathan, that I think that everybody, are anxious, kind of like, okay, I want to know, you know, like now that you keep saying mystery or something like that. It's not a mystery on the appraisal. We know that, you play a wonderful role in this industry, right? So we really, really appreciate the work that you guys do.
Thanks.
Cesar, you want to start with the first question for Nathan?
Yeah.
César está trabajando ahora en tratando de ponerle a todos los Facebook groups, ¿verdad? I'm gonna talk in Spanish right now. So, para los que se están conectando, muchas gracias el día de hoy. El día de hoy es un día especial porque tenemos a un invitado muy especial que es Nitan. Nitan trabaja con la compañía TAG. Es una compañía donde hacen todos los avalúos para los inversionistas. Entonces, hoy es el día especial para que hagan sus preguntas acerca de todo lo que ustedes tienen en mente cuando ustedes quieren comprar una propiedad de inversión, cuál es la mejor manera de buscarla, qué se fija en ellos, cuáles son las áreas donde está creciendo más. Entonces, para que aprovechen el día de hoy en ITA. Y si de pronto están tarde o algo así, no importa, aquí pueden dejar sus preguntas que después podemos contestarles a ellos, ¿ok?
Exactamente.
Ujú.
Nathan, how's your Spanish?
Not very well. It's something I've been trying to work on.
That's good. That's
Okay.
good. It's okay. We're gonna
We,
we're gonna translate it in here, so it's okay.
we do have one of our appraisers is fluent in Spanish, so
Oh, really? Okay,
Ah,
Great.
that's good to know. That's
good
really
to
good.
know, yes.
That's
yeah,
really
no,
good to
and
know.
it's it's a good thing because there are some language barriers depending on different properties you go to. Sometimes it's you have to gain access with someone who is whether it's Spanish speaking or another language. So we always try to accommodate the best we can with all that.
That's really good to hear. Well, that's another reason we need to, you know, call you guys whenever we need appraisals. That's really good. Cesar, you want to start with the first question? You ready?
Yeah. So one of the questions we have is, what is the role of an appraisal in a real estate investment?
So it's the typical thing that everyone thinks of is oh, the bank needs to get an appraisal. It's for the bank, but for an investment, the biggest thing is it's helping you protect your investment and know what you're doing. It's a good tool to use to you can kind of pull comps, you can kind of look around, or a realtor might be helping you with a CMA, but an appraisal actually gets down to the details on it. And we look at we have a set of standards that we look at, and whether that's we try to stay within the neighborhood, we try to look for similar homes and condition, quality, GLA, things like that. And where we help a lot of with a lot of investors is you know they may work on a property that's down the road a little bit, maybe a few miles away in a different neighborhood. Everything went well there, and they're kind of trapped with the property, and that might be in a different area. But
Really good.
where we can help is to help show them why they're trapped, or what the issue is. It might be in a neighborhood where things are selling a little lower than what they thought. We help educate, we help talk through the process and why we're doing what we're doing, with the appraisal. Why we think it's worth this, and what we do with investors is the as is and as repaired value, which is a huge help to show, okay, well, you're good to buy this today for this price, and you want to put this much work into it. So when you are ready to go through the work and the process, you have an idea of what it will be worth when you sell it, and if it's worth it to put in that. So we go through people with, okay, well, should we renovate the kitchen, or should we turn the garage into another bedroom, add additional GLA? What's more cost effective there? What's going to get us our greatest return? We can do an appraisal to help show that.
Very good. Very good.
Now, when is that, like, can you tell on the report, like, or can you actually tell the investor, like, hey, I know you get these on the report or on the scope of work, or can you tell, like, hey, it's better if you, like you just mentioned, like, hey, turn this garage into a bedroom better, so it will get more square footage to the property to make the investment grow, or the returns actually on the property. Is that something you can do on the report, or something that we can do, like, personal?
Yeah, no, that's something we can do right on the report. We can add in the additional GLA and show the comps, as if the property is completely renovated and everything done the way you want. Everything that's planned out through, whether it's the budget or the scope of work that's there. So it's a good tool to show, okay, if you're an investor and you have people that you're working with, and you want to show them, hey, I think this property is worth it to do all this to, um, that's where that definitely helps.
Very good. Natty, you want to ask the second question?
No, actually, I had a question there based on what Anita said. For example, in a fix and flip, when we ask for a appraisal to go for a house that is gonna be is for a flip, and also you get the scope of work report, right? So, um, so when we send that order to the office, so you look for appraiser who is who is how do you say specializar? Um,
Specialize?
Specialize, yes, specialize on fix and flip, and understand the process on a flip in order to get a good report based on what the owner is going to do.
Yeah, so most appraisers, it's you go through the same the same process. So obviously all of our appraisers, they're specialized in it, but any appraiser can work with uh, any appraiser can work with you know any type of specialized property. It's the same theory, same process behind it. So whether it's a fix and flip or not, when we get that scope of work, um, it we know what to do and how to abide by that.
All right, thank you. Yes, the next question is I think the third one. How long does the appraisal process typically take to take, and what factors can delay it?
So the nice thing for us, we have a great system to where, I'm sure other appraisers you guys have worked with, and the industry as a whole, it's like, oh, appraisals can take forever. We try to stay within a 3 to 5 day turnaround time from getting the order. So that's typically going out, inspecting it, and getting it back to you within 24 to 48 hours from inspection. Um, if someone was to call us today, we'll have appraisal back, by the end of the week. Typically, right now we can get them in, next day, the day after, with no problem. Um, Industry as a whole, it's typically about a week. Um, but the things that can delay it are, not having the right information up front. Dealing with fix and flips, we need to have the most up to date budget, plans and specs. Um, what's going on with the property, things like that. Especially with dealing with fix and flips and investors and stuff, sometimes we'll get an old budget, and then we don't realize, we'll either complete it with what we were given, thinking that that's the most recent up to date, or when we're doing our final checks, we'll call just to make sure everything is right, and find out, oh, this is the wrong budget. Now, you went a whole different route with the property. So those types of things delay it. Um,
Very good. I have one that is really good question in here. If a property has no comparables, what certain area used to determine its value? How many miles away from the property you guys consider?
so it depends where it's at.
Okay.
Rural areas, we tend to go out, we could go out 10, 15, 20 miles for comparable sales.
Okay.
You know, and it's, not every house has that perfect comparable property, so it's something we typically have to search around. We also work with bracketing things, so we always want to have a comp where one is higher in GLA, one's lower in GLA. And when you look at a report, you see our adjustments, and our adjustments are to make those comparables similar to our home, to the subject property. So that's where we can take a property that might not be as comparable, and make it more comparable with our adjustments.
Great.
So no, we'll go back in time. We'll do, and on those counts we'll do time adjustments typically. Um, on the more difficult properties, we'll go back in time and out further. That's basically all you can do. And then our adjustments are what make those properties that aren't necessarily comparable more comparable.
Okay. I have another one, and guys, I'll promise I will let you guys have some questions too. But is it true that changing flooring or finishes can significantly influence the appraisal? Is that something that
I,
significantly
I
help?
wouldn't I wouldn't say significantly.
Okay.
Flooring and finishes, you need to have all that stuff anyways. So it helps with the overall condition, the contributory value, which is, if it's in bad shape, it's going to affect it negatively. If
Okay.
it's in good, you're not gonna see those huge positive things on it. Same thing with like a roof. Every home needs a roof. If it's new, it's not going to add any additional value, but if it's in bad shape, it's going to hurt the value.
So let's say that I'm doing a fix and or I want to do a fix and flip, but I want to do like amazing fix and flip, and I want to add hardwood floor versus LVP. Would that change the value?
So that goes into the quality of the home, and the quality of construction. So that can bump it up to that next quality rating. On any on any regular financial reports, we have to abide by the Q's and C's. So we have quality ratings we have to stick with, that are defined by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and then condition ratings also. So anytime you can bump up that quality, that's where you'll see a significant increase.
Okay, perfect. So it will probably help a little bit on the appraisal.
Yes, yeah. Typically, it always helps to have hardwoods versus LVP or just regular carpet or something. Anytime you can upgrade that quality, it helps.
What about cabinets? Will that affect the quality as well, or is that in the same category?
So going from a builder grade, or just like kind of I always call them like the Home Depot cabinets, to an upgraded custom cabinet. Yes, you generally see that quality bump.
Okay.
A fully renovated kitchen, you'll see that increase there typically.
Okay. So it does matter. Hardwood, custom made cabinets and all that.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
we typically see a huge bump, and that's where it takes takes you from kind of that what might be typical for the area and bumps you a little bit above that.
Okay.
Um,
Very good.
I had a question there. So the same thing applies for duplex because right now we have a we are facing a difficulty with our investor who has duplexes to find a I'm sorry to find a good comparable. So if they are because in there are not enough duplexes around the same area to be able to find a good comparable. So that's what you say is about the arrays and all that. That helps those duplexes to get better return, right? Or better value on the on the market.
well,
No.
so it definitely increases the value. I don't know if it's a better return, when you do those types of things. That's where you could do two different appraisals, one with a better quality, one with a lesser quality, and see what that return would be. But obviously the with duplexes, very limited sales. Anywhere here in the triangle or out even outside of the triangle here, it's you're limited with what you have. So what we would look at is how to what distinguishes it from the others that we do have in the area. And then sometimes we may have to look at a single family property that's close by that might be similar quality condition, things like that, to help compare it to and do some adjustments there. um, so there's multifamily homes are a whole another type of appraising. Typically we stick with single family. We definitely do multifamily, that's 2, 3, and 4 units. But it's things get a little bit messier with multifamilies.
And Nathan, now that we're talking we're touching the topic of duplexes. Um, what about if we have a duplex, but it doesn't have duplex in the same area, but we do have houses, but they're not selling in the same range? How do you guys, you have to take the house as a compatible for market price or square footage, or how do you guys evaluate the duplex?
So we're going to look at what's the market, the neighborhood, what's that price range going for, with just even single families before we go to that duplex. Because there's ones where we've been in a neighborhood and there's nothing around. Even if you go back in time, you go out 10 miles, there's still nothing. um, so that's where you look at, okay, what are homes at least selling for in the area, and
Okay.
you can help that helps you kind of see what people are what the market's willing to bear for just any type of home, whether it's multi or single family. It helps you just kind of create a little bit of a baseline of the range you should be in, things like that. um but we've also we've seen also where there's a lot of times with multifamilies, in some of those areas, people are going off of more of the income approach versus the sales comparison.
And
And
for
for
what
what
we're
we're doing, we're working on the sales comparison approach over the income approach. And we can
Mhm.
run into some issues there because maybe the income approach, it's worth it a little bit more than it is the sales comparison approach.
Yeah,
So
I had a situation that, and that's probably the question came out because I did, run to the issue, because that kind of affect a little bit on the cash refi or when we're doing a different things with the property, right? So, but yeah, okay, now makes sense. Thank you.
yeah.
I have a question. Just going back a little bit. So if you can, I know you were talking about the GOA. Is that can you tell us what it really means, like for the audience?
So the GLA is gross living area. So that's the square footage of the property, and that is the above grade square footage. So, um, appraisers have to adhere to ANSI standards, which if any part of the home is below grade, it's not considered GLA. It's considered below grade living area, which is a separate line item, and we'll run into issues with that, because people aren't always as educated on it, which I don't expect them to be. And there's a lot of little nuances with appraising that, we're always here to help explain, but um, the GLA is the overall, above grade living area.
Okay.
Great, great.
Cesar, you want to translate that in Spanish or you want us to just translate it after?
Yes, I think that's a good idea if Cesar can explain in Spanish that because I think that is a good one.
Sí, lo podemos explicar un momentico. So el GOA, el GOA, viene siendo el total de la propiedad, pero es solo lo que se puede habitar. Entonces, un ejemplo, el basement creo que no, a muchas veces no es habitable, entonces no lo van a contar, dependiendo también, imagino, de la altura del techo, que si no cumple con los requisitos, pues no se va a contar. Entonces, eso era lo que nos estaba explicando Nathan, lo que es el GOA, para explicarlo un poquito más fácil en español y pues hacerlo más rápido
so,
para seguir avanzando.
Cesar, so the GOA, it is related to the heated area of the house?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Mhm. Okay. Okay. So when you said, Cesar, you mentioned a basement. So if the basement is heated, it counts, right? In the
No,
GOA?
it counts as below grade area. So
Mhm.
on any typical financial report, or even on the other forms too, whether it's a private appraisal or things like that, with the ANSI standards, we break those apart, and it will be a separate line item. It doesn't mean it's always a greatly diminished value, but it's going to be a separate value given for the below grade area. Typically it's not the same as the dollar for dollar as the above grade area that we give, unless it's very highly finished, or done. Um, but it does affect the value. Some people think, oh well, this home is 2,400 square feet, and it's a 1,200 square foot ranch with a 1,200 square foot finished basement. So they think, oh no, this is 2,400 square feet, not 1,200. So you typically have to explain, no, it's broken up, and you can see it right on the report how we break it up and the adjustments we give, and you know how we do all that stuff.
Eso fue algo muy bueno, porque yo era una de las que estaba pensando, estaba pensando de que al conseguir casas con basement, y que no estuvieran terminadas, pero que ya después yo las pudiera terminar para ser incluida dentro de los pies cuadrados, no es así, o sea, ya es separada, ¿no? Entonces, ojo inversionistas, cuando encuentren casas que tengan basement, no crean que ese basement, así ustedes lo vayan a ¿cómo se dice? ¿No? Le vayan a hacer parte de la casa, que vayan a hacer heater, o sea, que aire acondicionado y calefacción y todo eso, no crean que eso va a sumar todos los pies cuadrados de la propiedad. Entonces hay que tener atención en eso porque igual el retorno no va a ser lo mismo del valor de la propiedad.
Muy bien. ¿Alguna otra pregunta, Nati? ¿O alguien está...?
The next question, I think the next question is we can talk about the areas, right? Because right now it is I mean we have Raleigh, we have Durham, we have all the towns around, but right now like if I sit and start looking around which towns is best to invest, like I say like oh my goodness, now where should I go? Because all the towns around are growing so fast, right? So maybe we can talk about a little about the towns, Irma.
Well,
Yes.
I think Nathan can probably, give us a little bit of hint in there where he's seeing the growth, which he was telling us at the beginning of the video that, but now we have more people watching us, so they can, you can tell a little bit, Nathan, maybe, where you see the growth going right
Yeah. So over the past year or so, I've seen a ton of growth in Rocky Mount. That's probably the biggest increase I've seen over the past 12 months in an area. Just a lot of people investing, fix and flips, things like that. Um, it's an affordable market, and not too far outside the triangle. So seen huge activity there. The same with areas like Zebulon, um, you know, Anger, which is just south of Fuquay. Because I was if 2 years ago I would have said Fuquay is probably one of the best areas to be in. Now that's kind of already it hit its max, and we're starting to see Anger, Lillington, um, Siler City,
now?
those types of areas really, um, a lot more activity with investors and things like that. And then just a little bit outside of the triangle too is Sanford has been growing, for 5 years now, and we're still seeing that continuous growth. It's on a, kind of a steadier path than some of these surrounding areas, but immediate surrounding areas, but it's always a good area. And then same with Fayetteville.
Super, super, super.
I had a question there because about Fayetteville. Fayetteville is a special city for me. I mean, Fayetteville, I like Fayetteville because has a lot of things around. It's very crowd. I mean, it's commercials to living, but that's what I feel. Even though if Fayetteville is a good area to, um, I don't know if right now to invest because we know that the value of the house, um, the return on the value of the house is not quickly as other towns. I know I understand that Fayetteville is just for maybe people who is looking for a cash flow right now for rental. So can you tell us a little bit about Fayetteville? How do you feel about Fayetteville, Anita?
So it's similar like Sanford and stuff. Anyway, as you get further out from the triangle, you see more steady growth, and that's what you're seeing in Fayetteville. You're not seeing those huge gains in values from year to year. We have seen that just maybe about 3-4 years ago, but it's kind of steadied out since then. Fayetteville, I always recommend it to people because there are tons of investment properties there. And it is a good area to kind of have just a rental you hold on to for a little bit, versus the fix and flip, which I would recommend more of, some of the towns closer to the triangle, like Rocky Mount, places like that. Um,
Great.
but
Amy, Cesar, did you have another question? Because I know time is it's about to.
Yeah.
We want to make sure we
Yes.
cover all the questions in here.
So yeah, I have one. We're gonna jump a little bit to the disputes and reviews. S- so what documentation or evidence can help to dispute an appraisal that is considered like lower value, or just square footage maybe that we were talking about just a little before this?
so we're always open to these conversations with people. It does happen where some might not be happy with the way the appraisal turned out or things like that, and we're always open for those discussions. Some appraisers aren't. At Triangle Appraisal Group, we're always open to talk or willing to look at reconsideration of value. The documentation. If there's additional comps, if there's anything you think we may have missed in the area, um, you know, or sometimes it might be something different with the quality of the home. It might be, if you feel the GLA is different, maybe one thing that we run into where we see disputes in GLA is if it's maybe an upstairs over a garage and the ceiling is sloped. Um, we have different considerations depending on how that room is set up on how we measure it. So, anti-standards, is anything above, between 5 and 7 feet, but it has to be at least 50% of the room is, above that 5 feet. I believe it's 5 feet, or 7 feet.
Seven.
So I'll have to. I can always get you guys the information on that, but we run into things here and there on square footage, and we're always open to look at it because it might just be an explanation, or the reconsideration of value, any additional comps that they may feel is in the area. Sometimes we get them and the comps aren't in the area, and we explain that we didn't use them because this is a totally different market. If we have comparables all within a mile of the subject and on the same streets surrounding it, things like that, and we get a reconsideration of value of homes 3, 4, 5 miles away, those tend to be a little bit more difficult. Where we're like, yeah, we didn't use those sales because of the distance, the location of them. We have more comparable sales within the report. But anytime anyone wants to dispute an appraisal, it just all and any information you can give helps, and that's from start to finish through the process. All information helps with an appraisal.
Perfect. That helps and give more confidence to, clients that, we have the possibility, right? So
Mhm.
that's good to have. That's good to know. Any other question, Nathy?
I was reviewing all the questions that we have here on the list, so I think maybe we already covered most of them, right, Irma? Can you check? So, Erika. Well, this is the time to say hello to our friends, a las personas que se han conectado. Muchas gracias a Leonor Martínez por estar conectada aquí con nosotros y escuchar todo ese aprendizaje directamente desde NITA. Tenemos también al señor José, es también otro inversionista muy exitoso, que también yo creo que próximamente lo vamos a tener aquí en la silla con nosotros también. Tenemos también, ahora está conectada nuestra amiga e inversionista Erika Salgado. Entonces, yo creo que por aquí Erika tiene una pregunta. Dice, I don't know if you, bueno, lo voy a poner aquí. I'm gonna put it on the screen so you both see it. Do you see the question of Erika, Nita?
Okay. So yeah, we touched base on this just a little bit earlier. The multifamilies in the area are difficult to appraise. There's typically very few comparable sales, let alone decent comparable sales. If we have to, we will use single family homes, and we do look at the that neighborhood and what homes in general are selling for as well. So that's always kind of a good starting point. I tell people when they're kind of pricing out multifamily homes, even before they're at the spot where they need an appraisal, is just look at what homes are selling for down the street or just in the area, and that's going to give you kind of a good baseline to go off of.
So
Thank you, Nita.
basically, what you suggest is, or this is what I personally I'm suggesting to my clients when they're looking for duplexes. Make sure there is more duplexes around the area.
Yeah.
Just to make sure they can get the best out of it, because I think you know, you can compare it to a single family home, but sometimes we think because the duplex is bigger, then it's gonna double the price, which in reality is not gonna help a lot.
No, and another situation that we see is some people are debating, well, should I buy a home that's a single family with an ADU or a duplex? And you know I've seen I don't want to say majority of the time, but yeah, more often it's there's more value there from the sales comparison approach for a single family with an ADU than there is just a duplex. So
Mm, good to know. Yes, good to know. So the investors has a now opportunity to build a ADU that will you will appreciate it much better than a duplex,
yeah,
right?
so with ADUs, we've had people build them. You're not going to get dollar for dollar value, but when you're kind of looking at sales of just single family homes with an ADU in the area, whether it's detached or might be attached over a garage or something, just that kind of that small separate area. And you compare it to duplexes in the area, generally they're either about the same or, like I said, I've seen more often than not, that single family with an ADU is usually a little bit more, will come in a little bit higher on an appraisal.
Are you seeing more ADUs in the area in North Carolina?
Yes.
Maybe? Yes.
Yeah, and a lot more new construction ones. I know there's some builders down in or over in Durham that are building new construction homes that are like they're 1,000 square feet, and then they're putting an ADU behind it over a garage that's like 950 square feet, and renting them both out or selling them to investors to rent.
That's good to
So
know.
yeah, we're seeing a lot more ADUs.
You mentioned that we don't get dollar to dollar when we add a ADU, but um, so when you are going to appraise a home, a home with a ADU, do you need to use another home with a ADU to make the comparables, right?
Yes, typically, yes.
Uh-huh.
If it's a full-on ADU, yeah, we're looking at for other comparables with an ADU. Sometimes people may have like an in-law suite or something a little bit different, like maybe a pool house where it's kind of a kitchenette with just one room. Those we don't always we can bracket with something else that's kind of like an additional amenity. But yeah, we're always looking at homes with ADUs, and that's going to be our initial search anyways, or what's in the area with ADUs, first. And and for us to look at the ADUs, we're not including those in the GLA. Those are all going to be detached. But sometimes we run into issues where someone may have something that's attached to the home, but you can't get through it, get to it through the main home, so you have to like enter it into it from only the outside. We can't include that in GLA. Now, sometimes it's more, it's worth more if that's included in the GLA. So we've had people where they've created access and then you can use a whole nother area as square footage. So, kind of what I'm saying is if you can have it in your GLA and have it be more of an in-law, where we see better gains there than we do if it's a detached ADU.
Very good.
That's great.
Okay, perfect. I think we already covered everything here, right? Cesar and Irma?
I think so. I don't know if you want to give us another insight, Ethan, or something that you want us to, or, future investors need to know, or tell us a little bit if you can give us a
Well,
little bit of insight on that before we say
yeah.
goodbye.
Well, one thing I want to say, it's always good to when you're investing, to you can always reach out to an appraiser, give us a call. Um, we're here to help, and with that we can talk you through the process of what you want to do to the home, what your what you're looking to put into it, and you want to protect your investment. You don't want to make a bad decision and do things like that. So we're always here to help with that fix and flip. What it's worth today, what you could offer on the home, what you could do to it, a few different ways. So we're always we're always here to help with that. But for investors, the triangle's doing great with investors. We're seeing so much activity, and even throughout, we're in Charlotte, we're down in Wilmington and Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach, we're seeing a ton of new investment properties pop up. And a lot of hard money lenders down there working with stuff. So
Very good.
It's great.
yeah, I'll put my contact info in the chat.
Sorry. I'm sorry, I was mute. Erika and Yasin, if you can give us contact information, so if someone wants to contact you or the company.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be.
Am I able to type that in here, or here I can type it in down below?
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna put this one here. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ethan.
It'd be great to have your contact because information, because I know some investors might be interested in doing an appraisal before they
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
or at least just
everybody that know, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to add as well that everybody that know that we using them for our appraisals as well, for our loans, so they can feel confident that we using the best.
That's great.
Yes, yo pienso que una de las mejores cosas para un inversionista siempre es, si no está muy seguro y está apenas empezando, es gastar o invertir, no es gastar, invertir en esta evaluación. Y si de pronto lo ven como un gasto, no es un gasto, porque de todas maneras, mira, no se decide en su compañía y eso se puede deducir de impuestos, así que eso no va a ser un gasto, eso simplemente es una inversión y es un seguro. Es un seguro para que ustedes vayan, digamos, un poco más a la segura y no vayan así como cerraditos sin saber qué es lo que el mercado que están entrando.
Correct.
Okay, so thank you guys.
Thank you, Nathan, for all the information. I think we covered most of the the appraisal section. Probably we answer a lot of questions about what to look for out there when we are looking at properties.
Thank you guys for having me, and appreciate this, and hopefully we can do more things like this in the future.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, yes. Erika has the last questions to ask to CLS. Can you guys use the same appraisal if we get it done before the project starts?
So, in all, no, because when someone reaches out to us to order appraisal, it's going to be on a private form. When you guys reach out to us, it's on a bank form. So, we can't put it on a bank form or a financial institution form, which is Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, backed. If someone orders it, now we can know we've been to the property before, and all that stuff. We can always work something out, but no, you can't use that appraisal and typically bring it to whether it's CLS or anyone else.
Thank you.
Thank you, yes. I think we covered everything right now. Thank you so much, Nathan. Thank you, Cesar, Irma, to be here. I think we get a lot of great information. Great information. Thank you. And I have two things to say that I learned today about the GOA and the basement. Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
And I learned one thing: just do more research when we're going to purchase a duplex around the area.
Definitely. No, we got a lot of good information today. I hope the audience get a lot of information out of this live today. And thank you, Nathan, for being here, sharing all this information for us, for the investors, which I know, it's gonna help a lot on, the way the market is and the way to start looking at duplexes and multifamilies, especially. So that'd be great.
That's right. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you
Yeah,
so
thank you
much.
guys.
And hopefully, we'll do another one pretty soon.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you so much.
for everybody that was listening us or watching us, a Leonor, señor José, a Erika, a todos los que están aquí conectados, muchas gracias. Estamos aquí entonces todos los martes a las 10 de la mañana. Vamos a ir teniendo invitados, así con invitados con esta experiencia. Y también vamos a estar hablando también nosotros, digamos, la próxima semana vamos a tocar un poquito más en profundidad lo que hablamos el día de hoy para enseñarle también a nuestra comunidad cómo hacerlo de una mejor manera, ¿ok? Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So see you next week on Tuesday, 10 a.m.
Nos vemos.
Nos vemos. Bye bye. Thank you, Nita.